Okay, how I get foxes from fur farms. The next question I am answering today. So, I go about it in a very polite way because I don't believe fighting fire with fire really resolves anything. So, if I go to a fur farmer in a hostile manner and, I give them my opinions on fur farming or I call them names, I'm not going to get anywhere with rescuing foxes from the fur farms because the only way to rescue foxes from fur farms is by them surrendering foxes to you. Fur farmers are, their only licensing is to basically sell dead fox. So they have to surrender live fox, and that's the only way to get them out. So the way I go about this is just being very polite. I leave my opinions to myself, and when I do educational posts on fur farming, I try to make it very just factual because I always keep in mind that the fur farmers might read the stuff that I write because they know who I am, they know what I do, they know I am a fox rescue, so I assume that they can see everything that I post. So I just try to keep it very factual and not opinionated and not angry. And I also try to just, educate the younger generation on how to prevent fur farming from continuing. And that would be like, checking your makeup and making sure there's no mink oil in your makeup, or, don't wear mink eyelashes that are made from mink. And another big one that I see, mosquito, it's Dixie, is people going to the Renaissance Fair and buying those foxtails and putting them on their behinds. Those foxtails are foxtails from fur farms. Don't do that unless you are trying to support fur farming. So basically, just the best way to have the industry die down, who's behind me, is to educate our younger generations about it. People who already have it in their mindset that it's okay, we're probably not going to change their minds. And a lot of times people who are supporting fur farms don't even realize it because they're just not reading labels, or they just don't really think about maybe like where this fur is coming from. And as far as like fur farmers go, from fur farmers I've met, the way they describe it to me, I'm just telling you what they say. This is not what I agree, but fur farmers see what they do as an agricultural pursuit. That's how they word it. And they don't see it any different from people who farm meat, farm like pigs, farm chickens, farm anything like that. And these are people who were raised in the industry. These are people who have like been around it their whole life. They weren't raised in a type of upbringing where I guess they were shown how to care for animals properly, or shown that these are just type of people that don't see animals the way animal people see animals. We see animals with like deep emotional connections and feelings, and they have the capacity to like love, and just fur farmers just don't seem to see it that way. And yeah, so that's how I get foxes from fur farms, just by being polite with them, and then asking them if they would surrender any foxes that would not turn a profit for them. So this is often foxes who are sick, injured, ill, or some genetic issue that causes them to have poor coat quality, and there might be a couple other things I'm missing. But yeah, so that is what I believe is the best. I am not a protester. I don't think protesting, in my opinion, is the right approach, because I just think fighting fire with fire is just going to make, your enemy more angry, and definitely not willing to fold in submission, technically. So I just think the best way to end fur farming is just educate all of our younger generations, and yeah, I think it's going to be a dying thing at some point, because less and less people are going to be raised up being fur farmers, because it's just not an industry making a ton of money right now, and hopefully it just keeps going that way. So, hi Flufala. She was a fur farm rescue. Some of these guys are pet surrenders. Some are fur farm rescues. Serafina, who had appeared at some point in this video, she's a little silver fox right here. She was surrendered because she was born without having a top coat. So she only has her undercoat, which means she is completely worthless as far as fur quality goes, because she doesn't have a thick furry coat like they should. She just has her little woolly undercoat. And thankfully for that, she landed here. So go away bugs. Hopefully that helps answer some of your questions.